Hi, I'm Dr. T, and I'm a pediatrician. On Ask Dr. T, I answer health questions from teens. Questions ranging from safe sex, to self-love, to questions about body parts. Let's get this episode started. On this episode, we're going to be talking about vaginal lumps and bumps. So, first question. How do I get rid of razor bumps on my vaginal area? So this is a very popular question because a lot of folks want to shave their genital region. So for starters, shaving is not necessary. But if you choose to do so, I would recommend a few different things. First, preventing razor burn is going to be the first step. One, always use some sort of a soap or a shaving gel when you're shaving. And two, a fresh razor every single time. The reason being is that a sharp edge is going to be your best friend when it comes to preventing razor burn. The last thing I would recommend is shaving in the direction that your hair grows. So don't shave against the hair. That would mean that when you run your hand over your hair, if you don't feel any resistance, if it feels nice and smooth, then that's going to be the direction that you should be shaving. If you run your hand in the opposite direction and you feel a little resistance, that's going to be against the hair, and that will cause some razor burn as well. So soap, fresh, sharp razor, and shaving with the hair. Now, all of that said, sometimes you might still get some razor burn. So after you shave, it's always a good idea to put on a gentle, unscented, which means no alcohols in it, but a nice gentle moisturizer to sort of rehydrate the skin. And then if you do end up getting razor burn, which would be redness or inflammation of those hair follicles, then you can put a low dose steroid cream on those to help with some of the redness and the itch. So that would be something like a 1% hydrocortisone cream or ointment. Alright, second question. I've never had sex, but I have these small whitish yellow colored bumps all over my inner and outer parts of my vaginal lips. They've been there for years now. Is this infectious? Is this infectious, and how can I get rid of them? So these are very likely something called Fortis spots, which are basically enlarged oil glands. Oil glands, they're all over our bodies as well as in our genital region. So there's really nothing to worry about. You should just leave them alone though. Don't try to pop them. Popping them can be painful and they can result in scarring and or infection. So just leave them alone, but they're super, super common. So nothing to worry about, just your oil glands. Question number 3. I just finished having sex with my long-term boyfriend, and after that I went to look in the mirror because I felt something weird in my vagina. I looked inside and there are 2 swollen lumps near my vaginal opening. We didn't use a condom and I'm afraid it might be something worse. What could this be? These are likely swollen Bartholin glands. So people with vaginas have 2 Bartholin glands that are just on the inside of the vagina, and their main purpose is to secrete mucus that covers the vaginal opening as well as the surrounding vulva. Sometimes, especially with rough sex, these can get either inflamed or clogged, and it's nothing to worry about, especially if it's not painful and if it's not red, tender, or oozing. So if these are inflamed after sex, it might be totally fine, totally normal. Just keep an eye on them, and if they get worse, like I described, pain, discharge, redness, then you might want to see a doctor. What should I do if I feel a lump in my vagina? I'm only 15, so I'd have to go through my parents and I would be embarrassed. What could this be? So I suspect this is a Bartholin gland cyst. So those same glands can sometimes become plugged up and clogged and enlarged. And it might be one, it might be both. The things that you can do to help relieve some of the buildup are sit in a warm bath soak. So warm water, try to help those glands open up and release some of that built up mucus. If the glands ever become red, tender, or you notice a funny pus-like discharge, then you should see a doctor. But you can try to open them up on your own by soaking in warm water. And then question number 5. My vagina has weird bumps on it, but I've never had sex or been fingered. I thought it would go away by now, but it's been about a year. I don't know if I'm allergic to my underwear. What could this be? So it's quite possible that you are allergic to your underwear or your detergent, which is probably more likely. So what I might want to do is try a different detergent, something more gentle, maybe something without a smell, and see if that helps some of that irritation. One other thing you can do is if that is itchy and red, you can apply a low dose steroid ointment or cream. Again, a 1% hydrocortisone can help with some of that redness. That wraps up our vaginal lumps and bumps. And remember, if you have a question for Ask Dr. T, you can either respond in this video or submit through my website, askdrt.net.